Welcome back to a Book a Day podcast. As you know, this week we are discussing this book called The Other in the Mirror, and I'm narrating short stories from the book. It's a collection of short stories on the theme of India and Pakistan, written by the writers from both sides of the border. The short story that I've got for you today was written by Asghar Wajahat. You might be familiar with the name. He is a famous Hindi writer who is probably most notably known for his play Jis Lahore Ni Vekhya or Jammya Hi Nahi. Anyone who hasn't seen Lahore isn't born yet, and that phrase had got really popular and has been associated with the city of Lahore since then. The story that I've got for you today is called The Enemy, and it was translated into English from Hindi by Priyanka Sarkar. So, without any delay, let me start narrating the story for you. The Enemy by Asghar Wajahat. Apiji kept staring at Chintu's head and face. He stood frozen with the scissors and comb in his hand. He had put a plank of wood on the armrests of a high chair and placed Chintu on it for his haircut. He looked at Chintu's face yet again. Chintu had taken off his spectacles, because of which his round eyes looked smaller than usual. Apiji knew that those in the area who called him Apiji were actually calling him Hafizji. Nobody was to be blamed if what came out of their mouths was Apiji, whether in haste or because they could not get the pronunciation right. A man has to leave many of his impressions behind when he leaves his home and country behind. Apiji had come to Nareshnagar from Rai Bareli. A well-wisher had advised Apiji that he would earn a lot if he opened a shop in Nareshnagar. Hafizji had come with a suitcase and set up his practice under the neem tree. If a kind soul gave him a few extra annas, he would return home early. Soon enough, it turned into a shop. He put a board on the shop saying, Hind Hair Cutting Salon. The reason for the shop's success wasn't just Hafizji's hard work, but also the money Rahmat had sent from Karachi. All this would not have been possible without Rahmat's help. And Rahmat says that nothing would have been possible without Nasir Bhai. Nasir Bhai had financed Rahmat's move to Pakistan. Time had turned Nasir Bhai into Apiji. Over the years, the two brothers had quarrelled many a time about moving to Pakistan. The first few discussions had been civilized. They soon turned into screaming matches. Rahmat would shout, "Do you even know what the pay for a shave is there? 10 rupees? Nasir, that is Apiji, would say, "So, would you leave your country for Pakistan?" They would soon start abusing each other. Then they would stop talking to each other. All Rahmat could think about was Karachi. Karachi had started featuring even in his dreams. He was running around. He hung out with the boys from the neighborhood who had been to Pakistan and claimed that everything in Pakistan was imported. Omega watches, golden tape recorders, Gillette blades, Japanese toys, and many such things. Rahmat was also thinking about these things. His madness kept increasing. One day he said that if he was not allowed to go to Pakistan, he would poison himself by taking datura. That is when Nasir Bhai admitted defeat. He told himself that there was nothing to be done if his destiny dictated that he be separated from his brother. He remembers well the long night when he had put Rahmat in the train bound for across Kokra. He also remembers the glorious day when RPG had embraced Rahmat on Pakistan's soil. He has many bittersweet memories from the last 50 years. There were times when he was scared of mentioning that he has a brother in Pakistan. Then there were times when dressed in clothes bought from Pakistan, he fancied himself to be General Ayub. Every vein in his body remembers house number 107 in D block of Najmabad of Karachi, Pakistan. Rahmat and Zulekha's house where Sabiha and Afsana had been married. It was also the house where Rahmat's handicapped son, Adnan, sat on a chair in the veranda to look at the sky. He was 27 now. Adnan could neither hear nor speak. He could not move his limbs, let alone walk. After having spent a fortune on medicines, Rahmat had now left it all to Allah's will. He was of the opinion that Pakistan was created by God. Adnan was also God's creation. All they could do was be patient. Not just Rahmat and Zulekha, even the two sisters loved Adnan to bits. He considered Rahmat's children as his own. What was astonishing is that if there was anyone in the world Adnan recognized, it was RPG. Recognition flashed on his face the moment he laid his eyes on RPG. He could not speak, but his face spoke for him. RPG also adored him. He had prayed for his recovery at every shrine he could visit. Chintu had unraveled RPG from head to toe. Chintu was Pandeji's daughter, Sushma's son, who lived in the third lane. Chintu was always in the lanes, day or night. He was in class 4, but talked like he was everyone's father. For some reason, while cutting his hair today, RPG had asked, "So, Chintu, what do you want to do once you grow up?" "I will join the army." "Okay, I'll become a captain." "What will you do then?" "I will fight my country's enemies." "Who are the country's enemies?" "Pakistan." "Pakistan?" "Yes, Pakistan." A shiver had run RPG's spine and he had been struggling to brace himself. He looked at Chintu from behind his foggy spectacles. His round eyes were dancing. He knew that Chintu had learned all this from the boys in the neighborhood. Otherwise, how can the 7-year-old Chintu even know what Pakistan is? "How will you fight Pakistan?" "I will drop an atom bomb there." "Atom bomb?" "Yes, atom bomb." RPG started cutting his hair little by little, but he felt his insides fill up with poisonous gas. He cleaned his spectacles again, but his vision remained hazy. Then he rubbed his eyes. He couldn't see well even after his eye ducts had dried up. He wanted to tell Chintu Adnan lived in Pakistan. He can neither eat with his own hands nor drink. He cannot walk. All he can do is see, though God only knows what he looks at. His hands and legs are not in his control. He rolls off here and there, and unless someone comes and straightens him, he cannot do it by himself. But he is a very sweet young man. He is fair complexioned, the veins running through his hands are blue. His hair is black and his face is longish. He is very sweet. Yes, there are times when he has seizures. He seems to suddenly become strong. He injures himself. His wounds start to bleed. When he is at peace, he looks at flying aeroplanes. The taste buds can tell the difference between delicious and bland food. He throws up bland food. He was thinking of telling Chintu, Beta, what will you achieve by dropping an atom bomb on an disabled man? God himself has wreaked havoc on him. He felt like an atom bomb thrown over Pakistan would drop only on Adnan. Adnan lived in God's created land and his body bore self-inflicted wounds. He made new ones even before the old ones could get the chance to heal, meaning he has been fighting with himself since his birth. He is a handicapped man cutting up parts of his own body. A stupid boy. He pulls his own hair with such strength that even the roots come out. He has no semblance of intelligence or wisdom. But there are times when he gets so maddened by the anger that it seems like he would butcher himself. Chintu's hair had been cut. He took Chintu down from the chair. Sushma came. She examined Chintu's hair carefully and handed RPG 2.5 rupees. Sushma, look, your son wants to drop an atom bomb on Pakistan. Why? What is this nonsense you've been spewing? Who taught you all this? Sushma took Chintu's arm and pulled him aside. Still clutching the money, RPG sat down on the moda. The calendar with the picture of Mecca and Medina hanging on the opposite wall was swaying under the fan. He looked at the fading picture of Rahmat on the wall. He said, Ya Allah, to himself and started looking at the lane with haunted eyes. Before he could think of anything, Rajveer came by and said, What happened, RPG? Why are you looking so forlorn? No, nothing, just tired. Tired in the morning? What can one say about tiredness? It can come without warning. Saying this, he started cutting hair. But try as hard as he could not think of anything but Pakistan, meaning Adnan. He was so distracted that he cut a small pimple on Rajveer's cheek with his ustra. What are you doing, RPG? Rajveer said. Forgive me, beta. I'll get an antiseptic. RPG started putting some alum on the cut, but his mind was still where it had been. And so the story ends. And so beautifully, in just one scene of probably around 5 minutes, it captures everything. It captures the human emotions, and it tells you how the human connection goes beyond politics. As I said, he's a wonderful playwright, and you should check out his plays. Definitely the one called Jinne Jis Lahore Nahi Dekhya. And there are more works by him. There are short stories. So I hope you'll enjoy that. In the meantime, here in this podcast, I will continue reading these short stories from the book in the next few episodes as well. Thank you very much for listening. I will catch you the next time. Thank you.